Hey, my name's David. Welcome back to Backroads, and today I'm walking from Finch down Yonge Street to probably around Sheppard, and we're going to weave in and around Mel Lastman Square, and we're also going to take a look at the Gibson House as well, because that's kind of a crazy story all in itself. Talk about rebellion. Let's see if we can just hop on over. Oh, it is a windy. My hat just blew off down the middle of the road. Holy smokes. It is windy. Whew. I mean, good thing no cars were coming, otherwise I would have lost my hat. It's 1 degree today, but yet it feels a heck of a lot colder. Here we are at Finch. I'm just walking along to Yonge Street, which is just ahead. Just walking east. $10 public parking. That's for, how long is that for? It's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday is 5. Basil Box used to be a Scotia bank. This area has changed dramatically over the years. My brother and a number of my friends used to live up in that building over there. Anyways, there's the Finch subway station right over there. You can get to it by entering there. There's a very big Asian population in this area, so you will see a lot of restaurants that cater to that demographic. Actually, this used to be a future shop, and actually there's something else that's going to change in this. So this used to be a future shop. Obviously it's a Shoppers Drug Mart, but it looks like it's going to be changed again to probably a couple of more condos. You can see the old part of Toronto right across the street. I'm gonna hold on to my hat. Well, either that, I'll put it on backwards. Sorry about all the sniffling, but man, once that wind gets going, it's so cold. Oh, how Toronto is changing so much. Since like 1998, there's been so much changes with regards to the streetscape, because that's what it used to look like. But you can see the condo towers that are being put up. It just changes the whole landscape. The wing machine has been here forever. I remember going there with a bunch of friends, getting wings and beer. Sorry, wings and pizza. More development happening. Doesn't seem to end. I mean, we need housing in the city, that's for sure. It's like one of the only things that a lot of people can really afford. I mean, affording a house is crazy these days. You have the Tridel Towers right here. Yeah, the whole area was developed. I mean, stark contrast. You've got that, and then you've got that. It's interesting. I like doing these videos because at least I'm able to capture, what's here before it changes. And then if I continue to film over the years, it's kind of like preserving it. I mean, you can kind of do that with Google Earth. There used to be trees here. Not anymore. They seem to have cut down a lot of them. I don't know if they were sick or not, but that is one loud fan. Oh my gosh. Oh, this bakery here, Luna Bakery, is really good. Been in there a couple of times. Yonge Street was once called the longest street in the world. However, I think it was 1999 when they Guinness Book of the World Record said, wait a minute, Highway 11 is Highway 11, not Yonge Street. So they couldn't include that in the distance. But it is still a very, very long road. I believe it's somewhere around 1,000 kilometers. Sorry, not 1,000. Wait a minute. Can't be 1,000. How long is it? Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, it's a very long road. And it was a couple of hundred. St. Louis, great place to go for wings. And what a lot of people don't realize that I believe St. Louis started off at Avenue Road. It started off at Avenue Road as Avenue Road Bistro. And they served wings and they were fantastic. So that's like Avenue Road, just like north of Lawrence. And then I think they started with one, and then they went to another, and then they just started franchising it out. That's my understanding. Again, could be totally wrong. I'm just basing that off of conversations that I remember from years ago. Okay, so let's go to the Gibson Museum. I'll cut through here. Oh, I'm just gonna warm up first. Those grates are nice and warm. Here's the Gibson House Museum. This land, there was a farmhouse. This farmhouse right here was built in 1851. And David Gibson was a Scottish immigrant and land surveyor, farmer, politician, and rebel. And his family home is now a museum. It's so great that it's still here. So it's a great Victorian home. Now, he was a supporter of William Lyon Mackenzie and was twice elected to Reform member of provincial parliament and one of Mackenzie's chief lieutenants in the unsuccessful rebellion of 1837. He fled the United States and his house was burned by order of the lieutenant governor. Now, here's the thing. He was fully pardoned and he returned in 1849 and resumed his profession as a surveyor and later appointed to the inspector of Crown land agencies and superintendent of what was that? Colonialized roads. Like stark difference, like crazy. Like this is a farmhouse, right? And then when you look around, this is what you're looking at. This is what you're looking at all these years later. I mean, I know development has to happen. You've got like 1851, you've got early 1970s, then you got like 2000s, then 2020 or something, right? Just so remarkable that it's still here. And it used to be a huge apple grove here. No, I don't know where the apples are and whatever, but the David Gibson house was very cool. Not only that, but it's also free from 11 to 4. Hey, how are you? That's good. Good. I've never been here before.
Amazing. Well, first
The David Gibson house.
Yes.
My dad used to talk about this place.
Oh, fantastic.
But 1851.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? So, anyways,
Yeah,
very
so
cool.
We have our modern gallery space here. We have bathrooms downstairs, and then the historic house starts that way. So it's
Awesome.
the brick wall onwards. That's the 1851 house.
Cool.
We have a little display in the kitchen right now, a little demonstration going on, and then you can walk through the rest of the house as you wish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, how are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. This is fascinating. All those years ago, this is probably where he would have sat. So he was a land surveyor. But he supported the rebellion with William Lyon Mackenzie. That's one awesome fireplace.
Right.
Back in the day, man.
And
Holy.
I will note, this is a reconstruction, so this is
Yeah.
not the original fireplace, but
But
it's
still.
actually what you would have seen.
Yeah, absolutely. I always think what it would have been like to be in David Gibson's head while he was speaking to William Lyon Mackenzie during the Revolution.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
That would have sat somewhere in here and talked about how it was going to go down.
We know that David held turkey shoots on this property, which was code for training people for how to use weaponry for the rebellion. So we know definitely that they were definitely hosting gatherings here.
And how many acres was it originally that he had?
100 acres.
Oh, it was
105.
105 acres, right? And big apple orchard, apparently.
Yeah, you got the apple orchard out there.
Now, is there still one apple tree?
There certainly is. So right at Yonge and Park Home, there's the plaza that has like the aroma and the Boston pizza.
Yep.
In the middle of that, there's a tree that has ropes surrounding it, and that is the last remaining tree. And it still bears fruit.
Now, can you see it from Yonge Street?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like right at the corner.
Yep.
So kind of that way.
Yes, you got it.
Down there. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. My gosh, it's amazing how it's still here after all these years, right?
Yeah, any type of history that survives is always really impressive.
Well, and you look,
especially surrounding us.
well, yeah, because you got 1970, 2010, 2023 or whatever. Like it's
microcosm of the decades.
Yeah, right, exactly. Fascinating times.
Absolutely.
Anyways, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. There you go.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Have a good one. So it was a very fascinating trip down some, local history. Well, let's make our way down to Mel Lastman Square, the last mayor of North York. Turkey shoots, apparently. Who would have thought? That's where he trained the militia. Remarkable. Surviving apple tree. Now, where would it be? It would be right there. So what do you think of that? That thing has been, I guess, the last surviving apple tree back from like, what, 1700s? 1800s. I'm surprised that they don't have. I mean, she's long done. But it's still standing. I'm surprised that there's no little plaque to commemorate this apple tree here on Empress. or I should say Park Home in Yonge. But it's here. There's the Loblaws of the area. And this, right behind here, is the Toronto Library, which we'll walk through. Well, I don't know if we'll walk through it, but historic community of Lansing. So here's something for you to take a look at. Let's go right there. Right, historic community of Lansing, 1796. It's over 220 years old. I mean, anyone who's watching this from Europe, yes, I know your history goes back further, but in Canada, we're a young country. So anything like 200 and some odd years old is old. Here's another Yonge Street sign. These things are great. Right? Tells you where you are and how long it takes to walk. Right? So there's your 15-minute walking distance from Finch just down past Sheppard. But we're going to go just up a little bit further and we're going to walk through Mel Lastman Square and make our way back. So that's where we're going. Ryokan Empress. And there is a Starbucks here on the corner. And this would be Mel Lastman Square. The Toronto Public Library is just inside there. North York. There's a skating rink down here that people can go skating on. It's a little bit windy. I apologize if the audio isn't so good, but it's not a huge rink, but it's nothing like Nathan Phillips Square. But regardless, no blaring music either. Not like Nathan Phillips Square either. There's also a little band shell, so to speak, where there's also a river. So there's a little fake river that kind of flows through here. Now, there's also a piano that was donated. Now, this piano was donated by one of the victims' parents, who was killed in a accident on Finch where the truck drove into a number of people, which was really horrific. And I'm trying to, I don't exactly know where it is. It's somewhere here. Now they have festivals here, so there's kind of seating, which is really nice. Mel Lastman was the mayor of Toronto, well, the mayor of North York and a Toronto mayor, and he called in the army in 1999 to help with the big snowstorm that we had back then. Hey, little squirrely. We'll walk through the North York Civic Center. This is where you come if you want to dispute maybe tickets or whatever. But there's all kinds of economic development and culture, which is kind of cool. And there's a little eatery down here. You can kind of stay warm as well. If you need a place to come. And there you have it. Another episode. Another walk. This time, up in North York. But really, it's all Toronto, one way or another. So we'll just continue on down, slowly make our way down to Sheppard Avenue. This is the Toronto District School Board. Jack Astley's used to be there. It's no longer. Obviously, redevelopment of the location. Now the Keg. There's the Keg Seafood and Steak place on the corner. That's being moved because of all the other redevelopment. There's so much redevelopment that's happened in this area. It's crazy. There's the Arts Center. Oh my gosh. All these trees were cut down. I wonder what was going on. Hopefully they plant something and not use it as an ashtray. I don't understand. Like seriously, what makes smokers? If you smoke, why do smokers do this? I've never understood that. They throw cigarette butts everywhere. I don't understand why people do that. Oh yes, the lovely gridlock of Toronto. Japanese cheesecake. That sounds interesting. Here's another section where old meets new. Mama's Pizza, Union Social Eatery. Another windy part of the area, but all this, it's only a matter of time before it all goes and it all gets developed as well. This is the passport office in here. Here's some local information on Lansing. If you're watching from a different part of the world, you can just do a screen capture and kind of read about the area that I'm in. But there was a log cabin here in 1798. Joseph Sheppard. He was the one who settled in this area. That's why Sheppard Avenue is called Sheppard Avenue. The keg used to be down here. This is where it used to be. But again, redevelopment, this whole area. This is where the Toronto half marathon runs from in April. I think it's the end of April. And they start here and they run down Yonge all the way downtown. And I think there's also a full marathon that they do as well. Welcome to driving in Toronto. It's always fascinating. Never ceases to amaze me. So the Frog and the Firkin is on the right-hand side. This place has been here for a very, very long time. It was part of the Firkin franchise. Seen many a football game there, a hockey game. And as we get closer to Sheppard, so much has changed with all these skyscrapers dotting the landscape. Constant development, never ending. Sheppard Station is just on the right here. And there's a McDonald's. Perfect spot for a McDonald's if you're a business. Right on the corner here. There used to be a log house here that was moved. And it was Joseph Sheppard's house. And they've moved it, but it was built in 1960. Anyways, you can read all about it right there. Just do a screen capture. So if you go to 250 Beecroft Avenue, rehabilitated the house, and it does survive. But I remember going in to that store. There's an old hardware store right here, back in the day. There is a Whole Foods just across the street, because there's a Whole Foods. And I don't know if anyone knows this. Well, I'm sure a lot of people know this, but Whole Foods is owned by Amazon. It's an interesting little tidbit. So right here, I'm looking east towards Bayview Avenue, and that's where there is another mall. South, a couple of lights will get you to the 401, and west is, well, west. It's always an adventure in Toronto. There's lots of places to see. There's a lot of places to explore, even outside of Toronto, right? You can go to places like Milton, you can go to Guelph, Hamilton, Kitchener, Waterloo, Orangeville, Shelburne, Collingwood, Owen Sound, Niagara Falls, Ottawa. there's so many different places to visit. Obviously, I'm not going to name all of them, but you know, there's a lot of places that you can go, you can check out and explore. That's what I'm doing every day. I mean, I grew up here. This is my stomping ground. So, like I always say, get out and explore. And if you want to have a conversation, just comment below. Let me know what you think about these videos. Maybe like, comment, subscribe. Maybe send it to somebody who's thinking about moving to the area, or just somebody who wants to join me as I travel the streets and the back roads of Toronto and Ontario. So like I always say, get out and explore. My name's David. This has been another episode of Backroads.